Defense of one of my favorite characters from Naruto, Kabuto Yakushi. Now, everybody, when I was growing up, said that Kabuto was the shit, but ever since Shippuden, they were like, oh, Kabuto is weak, oh, Kabuto is this and that. And funny enough, what got me addicted to Kabuto was there was an AMV by this guy named X Samurai King, and he put Kabuto as Lil Wayne, and I literally went crazy. I'm like, oh shit, so much fucking crazy shit. And what made me even more hooked on Kabuto is when I got to play him in Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. There was a guy named Big Boy who all of a sudden out of nowhere started destroying my main, which was Sasori, with pure hands, which is Kabuto. And literally, I just loved the way he fought, how he adapted, how everything was great. But I didn't pay attention to him at first, but I was a victim of circumstances, and I could not watch Naruto like other kids could watch Naruto. And I need you guys to understand that I couldn't watch it every time on TV. I've missed multiple fights like Shikamaru versus Tayuya, Shikamaru versus Tamari, because I had to keep on moving to new locations. And I couldn't watch it on point like everyone else. But the real reason why that's a point is when I view Kabuto as a person, when I got older, it meant a whole lot to me now versus when I was younger, but I still fucking loved it. But what really kept me through the show was his development in Shippuden. What happened was this. Okay, so besides the ex-samurai shit, I found it interesting. How was he able to keep up with Tusani? How was he able to immobilize Tsunade and also somewhat take on Jiraiya at the same time? The whole meaning of that is Kabuto is a very complex character. Now, when he did that, I was kind of blown, but at the same time, this is an anime we're talking about here, but that strategy is a shame. What happens is he's outshined by other people like Shikamaru and Itachi. All these other geniuses like Neji outshine him, but you gotta understand, he is the best out of all of them. And a specific context, what that context means is he can adapt. He does his research. Everyone else is literally gifted by Kekkei Genkai. What is Kabuto's Kekkei Genkai? You see, what makes Kabuto hated is the fact that he's living in the shell of Orochimaru and he's following his footsteps and he doesn't have his own character. But if you look at his backstory, he wasn't allowed to have his own character. He wasn't allowed to speak his mind like he wanted to. Everything he had was controlled. All his power-ups were gained, but they were controlled because it wasn't him. It wasn't original. But honestly, I would have to say the reason why people hate him is because I had the same problem in life that he did. My problem was perspective. When you're a popular kid in high school, it's literally gaslight, gaslight, gaslight. Gas, gas, gas. Either you're being gassed up or you have to gaslight someone, because everybody who has that movie personality is not, I repeat, is not the cool kid you think he is. He's not the cool kid you think he is, because real people aren't fucking clever 24/7. They're eventually gonna get caught off guard. Alright? And the thing with Kabuto is he killed shit after kill shit after kill shit. He killed the senseis that taught everyone that everyone makes mistakes. Jiraiya made biggest mistakes. Lost to his own fucking people. Tsunade lost to Kabuto. Fair and fucking square. People don't want to give him that respect. They're like, oh, he's fucking weak. Why are you getting on Naruto? I have the right to get on Naruto like that. Yeah, Naruto may have won, but he has the plot armor as the main character. But Tsunade lost to someone who's damn near Genin level. Perspective? I had the same problem in real life. I'm going to make a confession. I beat someone who was older than me in a fight when I was in 6th grade, but when I was in 7th grade, I lost to someone who was younger than me. It kept on happening over and over and over again. The perspective is there. You see, as an autistic actually Asperger's black male. I rose through society because they kept on blaming my defaults, but I had positives, but they didn't want to pay attention to my positives. Just like they didn't want to pay attention to Kabuto's positives. They overshadowed the positives with the negatives, even though he already had feats. He already beat Tsunade. He already beat the Tsuchikage, yet you have the right to call him weak, and their excuse is he got beat by Itachi. Who also got beat by Itachi. The whole fucking Uchiha clan, the main second protagonist, Sasuke Uchiha, got bodied by Itachi. Both times he even let him win. And Kabuto at that level was strong enough to mop the floor with Sasuke. Oh, but the fact that he still lost, he said, nah, but the power scaling is still there. You're being biased because he lost to literally the strongest fucking character in Naruto. And he's like, oh, a fucking high school kid will be like, oh, but he lost to a dead nigga. Society needs to stop paying attention to people who have haymakers after haymakers after haymakers because they only know them for the cameos. They don't know them for the realistic. I had a battle in the ARL, in the Animation Rap League, where I almost beat the fucking champion, where we had to rely on an imitation to win. But they gaslight me saying, oh, this guy is better than you at flow. Is he better at me at punchlines? No, but we asked you to get better at flow. I'm like, no, but has I have punchlines? There are other guys who have punchlines and no flow. Is being biased. Everybody wants to look at Kabuto at, oh, he's just a sick child. Oh, he's just an orphan. Oh, he's just this and that. But he hasn't shown any sign of weakness ever since you first met him. All right? I hate the fact that this world runs on people like we're gonna dick ride Itachi, not knowing that Itachi is sick. Itachi is sick, and their excuse is, oh, this guy got beat by a sick person. You see how that connects? You see how that's talking shit, but that's not saying facts? That is how this world works. Kabuto will never get the recognition that he deserves as a character, especially in Shippuden. He's like, oh, you should have stopped where you're ahead. No, life goes on. Look at what he accomplished in Shippuden. If it wasn't for him, we would have no fourth Great Shinobi War. We would have no reanimation. We would have no fucking Madara without Kabuto, but nobody wants to give him perspective. Nobody wants to give him a chance. Nobody wants to give him shit because they want to blame the fact that, oh, you come from a single mother household. It's basically, Kabuto literally stands up for everyone who's a victim of circumstance in society. That's just like me being someone's ass, a senior's ass in high school, but then I'm losing to a freshman. But what if that freshman is trained? What if that freshman knows 3 types of martial arts? That's perspective. The guy who could body the 5 Kage is getting shunned because he lost one time. One fucking time. Yet he was able to mop up all the allied shinobi forces by himself. You need to start giving people who actually have feats that aren't fucking perfect. And that was his problem. It's because he tried to be perfect is why he lost to Itachi. And Itachi is nowhere near perfect. His plan was very flawed. Him and Sasuke are 2 different people. He's thinking that he can control his life just because he can kill his family, just because he gained perspective. No, Sasuke has a mind of his own. If Itachi's plan was bulletproof, then Sasuke wouldn't have joined the Akatsuki. These people do not understand that there's a difference between literally talking shit and stating facts. The fact is, Kabuto is one of the strongest characters in Naruto. But he gets shit on, he gets outshined by people like Shikamaru and everyone, not knowing that he is just as much of a genius as them. Kakashi was fucking scared. He outsmarted fucking Kakashi, for God's sakes, but people dick ride Kakashi more than him. He's like, oh, he run away. That's always what the fuck he does, but that was his goal. His goal was to collect information and run away. That was his goal. He accomplished all his fucking goals. The only problem is, he didn't know any better. How could he know any better when he's a fucking orphan? How? Just how? Explain to me, people. Explain to me. How the fuck are we supposed to live in a world when we ignore facts, when we're overshadowed by haymakers? You know what haymakers are? Haymakers are made to knock someone out. How can we function in a world that only functions on shit that makes people unconscious? Now this is in defense of Kabuto Yakushi. There's gonna be a support video that's gonna back this up with proper editing once I make it out. But for now, remember the power of perspective.